Welcome into Football Guys Sunday Morning Live. We are back. It's week one. I've missed you all, my children, my cherubs, my lovely, lovely people. I am Joey Wright, and along with me this season, I have brought you two incredible, as I always do. You know our first guy to my left or right because I don't know my left or right. Injury expert Adam Hutchinson with Football Guys. Adam, how we doing, buddy?
Hey, football's back. I'm glad to be here.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. You're probably not happy to see me. We'll cover that in a second. Joining us this season for the first half hour all season, kind of new to Football Guys. We have fallen in love with him this offseason. Cole Dotson, how you doing today, buddy?
Oh man, I'm so happy to be here. That intro too, I'm just like heart's full, man. Can't complain.
There we go. Yeah, don't steal Jeff's phrase. Oh boy, Jeff will be mad. Guys, Jeff Bell will be with us this season on
that was Jeff's phrase.
What is it? Full hearts, warm head. What? I don't know. It's on some show that Jeff likes. Jeff will be with us in the second half hour of this season. Colton's going to be anchoring the first half hour. Adam, for some reason, decided he wanted to stay all season with me. We're going to get into the injuries and whatnot real quick. But before the show, before we started, Adam and I were talking about how I broke his toe a couple weeks ago. Colton had no idea. So I think it's a fun little way to bring Colton into the mix to know what kind of wizardry and witchcraft he's working with on the show. Adam, do you want to tell people what happened a couple weeks ago?
First off, I just want to say, Joey, you're awesome. You're great looking. You're a smart guy. I do not want to make Joey mad. That's the theme of the show this year is don't make Joey mad because bad stuff will happen to you. I will say, though, so Joey and I, we're in a draft staff league for Football Guys. First rule that we always tell people, right? Know your league settings, know your league mates. I'm coming up here. We're about, I think we're 6th round. I see Joey's got 2 picks before I pick here. It was definitely a reach, but I had to get my guy, Emeka Egbuka. Sniped him right in front of Joey. Definitely gloated. And Joey said, I hope you stub your toe. And within 24 hours, I had fractured my big toe. So that's what I get. But I will say it was worth it. Emeka Egbuka is always worth it.
He's going to be good this season. So we covered that injury. So Colton, be nice to me all season. But let's get into the other injuries. Let's get those up real quick. Pretty transparent coaching staffs this week with what's going to be going on. So players that we know are out today. We got Chris Godwin, Darren Waller, Christian Kirk, Tyler Bass, and Isaiah Likely. Now, Adam, as the Bucs fan, I'm going to ask about Chris Godwin second, so I don't seem like I'm homer. But what's going on with Christian Kirk?
So Christian Kirk popped up on the injury report this week with a strained hamstring. Not a good thing. Definitely with a soft tissue injury so close to the week 1 game slate. So I always projected him to be out for this week. I do think it could be a multi-week injury. I would expect at least 2 games missed for Christian Kirk. So Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, I'm sure we might get some starts at questions about them, but I think they might be viable options for week 1 and beyond with Christian Kirk missing time.
Awesome. And as far as Chris Godwin goes, how long am I going to be waiting to put all my Chris Godwin starts in?
So Tampa Bay originally kind of projected him to be on the PUP list or IR to start the season. So that was going to mean that he was going to miss a minimum of 4 weeks. They actually avoided putting him on that list, I think partly because of Jalen McMillan's neck injury. They wanted to have some options for wide receivers if they needed to add some depth. So Chris Godwin, in theory, can return at any point. But I do think it's going to be closer to that 4-week mark since he was tentatively planning on starting an IR. The ankle, we learned later in this offseason that he had a second procedure done that was going to delay his timeline. Looking at some of the things Chris Godwin's doing, walking, the ankle just doesn't seem 100% yet, maybe a little bit stiff. So I think at minimum, I would say 4 weeks for Chris Godwin.
Okay. And Colton, I'm going to ask you about one of the other players that's out today. So Isaiah Likely is not going to be playing today. Not likely. He is shortly out this week. How excited would you be to play Mark Andrews tonight against the Bills?
I think I'm excited to play Mark Andrews regardless. He's been one of the, just because of the slow start last year, I think a lot of people kind of forgot what he's been able to do over the course of his career in this offense. He's kind of the go-to red zone option there when they aren't running the ball, which they tend to do quite a bit. You do that when you employ Derrick Henry, and that makes sense. But Isaiah Likely or no Isaiah Likely, I think I'm comfortable with Mark Andrews, and that without Isaiah Likely, right? I think I had Mark Andrews as my tight end 5 or 6 in my pre-draft rankings. Based on how he finished the year, the fact that he still averaged 9.5 half PPR points last season with the slow start just shows you how big of a role he played in that 4,000-yard passing season and for Lamar Jackson and everything that the Ravens were able to do.
Very good. All right. Let's take a look at some questionable people today. The big one, Adam, let's talk about it. What's up with CMC?
Let's talk about it.
What happened? Please tell me. Tell our
let's
viewers.
Talk about it. Yeah, so it sounds like, Christian McCaffrey did suffer a new injury. This popped up again this week, so it wasn't something that he was dealing with all offseason, similar to last year. A different injury, not Achilles tendonitis, but very closely associated with a calf strain. This one was tough for me. I got burned last year by Christian McCaffrey. Last year, the 49ers and Christian McCaffrey said all the right things, said he was going to be available week 1, and then everything leading up to that just led us to believe that he wouldn't be active. He wasn't practicing. Kind of a similar situation here. He's limited on Thursday, didn't practice at all on Friday. I understand why people are getting nervous. I was a little bit nervous having some Christian McCaffrey shares as well. All signs point to him being active in week 1. It'll be interesting to see, how much the 49ers actually use him. Are they limiting his snaps at all? Kind of like a similar situation to what we saw with A.J. Brown in that Thursday night game. A.J. Brown was dealing with a hamstring injury, and I think he was a little bit more limited by it than we were led to believe. So you're playing Christian McCaffrey if you have him, but if it's not the stellar RB1 week that you drafted him for, I would tell people to exercise some patience just because it's very possible that this injury limits him a little bit.
Gotcha. Now, Colton, let's say even if McCaffrey starts, do you have a second running back there in San Francisco that you would want to be going with?
Well, that one's always, I feel like that one's kind of tough because if you're looking at it, it's like who's more talented between Brian Robinson and Isaac Guerrero and trying to figure that out. But at the same time, the 49ers went out and traded for Brian Robinson, right? Brought him in. He was the guy that Kyle Shanahan decided he wanted to sort of ensure Christian McCaffrey with Isaac Guerrero already in the building, right? And, looking back, maybe they would have liked to still have Jordan Mason back there, but he's in Minnesota, and I'm sure we'll talk about him a little bit. But if we're going with one of those two guys, I know Isaac Guerrero missed some time with an injury throughout training camp and things like that, and maybe they weren't as comfortable with where he was. So if you're looking to ensure CMC with one of those two guys, I think at this point you probably want to lean Brian Robinson until Isaac Guerrero shows us that, okay, he actually does have a role and maybe he's more talented, and that is actually going to translate to something more prominent than Brian Robinson. I just don't know if that's what we're going to see.
Perfect. Also questionable today, Jaden Reed, Micah Parsons, and Darnell Mooney. Anything worthy of talking about there, Adam? Like any read on either of those guys, if they're going to actually play today or not?
Yeah, I think all signs point to Jaden Reed playing. I've been pretty vocal that I'm worried about this injury for Jaden Reed. He's got a Jones fracture, which is a fracture with one of your foot bones. They heal slowly. They're often difficult to play through. It comes down to a lot of pain management. For Jaden Reed, somebody that wasn't getting a high snap share when he was healthy, I worried what week 1 looks like as he plays through this injury. I think it's something that could flare up, possibly cause him to exit early. So be cautious with your Jaden Reed shares. I think if we get any Jaden Reed questions, I'd probably always defer to the other option unless it's really bare. So he's somebody that I'm nervous about this week.
Okay. Can we refer to your toe as a Joey fracture?
I think actually that's
okay.
I'm angry how good that is.
I debated in my head if I should say it, but I'm not really making fun of Jaden Reed's injury. I'm making fun of yours, and I'm okay doing that. Guys, real quick, we're going to get right into the start sets now. Just to let you know, if you're watching us on the Football Guys live YouTube channel, stay there, like, and subscribe. This is where we're going to be every week. We are on the Football Guys Fantasy Football channel for like about the next 3 to 4 weeks. That was our old home, but they built us this brand new, beautiful live home that we're going to be in every week for you. So if you want to, jump over to Football Guys Live. We'll put a link in the chat. Like and subscribe over there. You still got a couple more weeks with us here on the regular football channel, Fantasy Ball channel. But after starting week 4, we'll be on the live channel. All right. Well, our chat has been here waiting with bated breath. They were in here early with us. Let's start getting to these questions. All right. So first question from Mike, first one of the show. And rule of the show, if you put a dog in your picture, I will put your question on the board. Good morning. Happy week 1. What are your thoughts on Keaton Mitchell? He looked electric in the preseason. Colton, what do you think about Keaton Mitchell?
Yeah, he's dealt with obviously unfortunate injuries to this point. And he was always somebody that I think we were excited to see in this backfield, right? There's always been a little bit of like, keep an eye on Keaton Mitchell, see what he can do in if he's given a role or if he earns a role in this Ravens backfield. And that kind of fell by the wayside a little bit because of those injuries. So if those injuries are behind him, keeping an eye on him, especially early in the season, to see what that role maybe looks like in Baltimore. I know I'm going to be doing that. That's a super valuable offense to have meaningful shares in. And if there's like sort of an underrated angle that you can get on that backfield, which is what I think Keaton Mitchell could be if he is healthy and hasn't lost a step because of all of those injuries, I think that's worth doing. So I'll keep an eye on him. I'll see what it looks like, especially early in the season, and see how that backfield kind of shakes out behind Derrick Henry.
Awesome. All right. Gabe's excited to see us, and he called us beautiful, which we all like. Adam, we'll go to you on this since you're rostering him. Mika Ibuka or Travis Hunter today?
Yeah, this is a tough one because the Jaguars came out and said they're basically going to use Travis Hunter exclusively as a wide receiver today. I like the matchup, Jacksonville versus Carolina, right? We expect that one to be a high scoring game.
I am. Yeah.
I don't think you can go wrong with this. I hate, sitting on the fence week 1, first question thrown at me, but I guess I would go Travis Hunter by a hair. But I'm playing Emeka Egbuka wherever I have him.
Yeah, you should. Boar
Me
then
too.
here with us. Boar, happy to see you back. So the question, happy to see your faces. Last flex spot question for you, Colton. ETN, Xavier Legette, or Adam Thielen back in Minnesota. Where are you going, Colton?
Man, I think Thielen is the one here where it's like, if the role is what we think it could be in Minnesota with JJ McCarthy and Kevin O'Connell, that's like more of the upside swing. I think if that role, he doesn't take a lot of time to get acclimated or anything like that, I think that is really interesting. ETN is one of those guys where obviously there's a lot of ambiguity with that backfield, but if you did draft ETN, I think he's in that tier of, you drafted him for maybe some early season production while things are shaking out, especially as sort of the receiving specialist there with Tank Bigsby. Seems like it's going to be some sort of timeshare committee approach with ETN getting that side of it, right? The receiving work and things like that. Xavier Legette is also going to be in a potentially high scoring game in a role that might be more suited to him in sort of that Z wide receiver flanker role type of role. But if I'm going with one here, it's close. I like all 3 options, but early in the season, I think I'm going to lean ETN because if he does get sort of the first crack at that work plus the receiving work, I think that gives you a nice advantage in a PPR flex spot. But again, it's close. I like Thielen a lot too. And then you can't go wrong with Legette given what that game script could be, but slight edge to ETN for me.
Excellent. Jakob in here. Wicked, glad you're back. Starshines, Superflex, Penix, or McCarthy. Adam, where are you going, buddy?
I'm going with Michael Penix. If you've been following the offseason reports, like we've been doing at Football Guys, it's a great resource tool. Michael Penix has been getting a lot of praise this offseason. People are really excited about him, excited about the Falcons offense in general. We haven't seen JJ McCarthy play. I mean, this is essentially his rookie season. It is a good matchup, with the Bears, but I'm going to go with Michael Penix this week.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that one. All right, Mace Dog in here with us. That's tough, Gabe. Fun to have you both. Okay, they're having their own conversation. Devin, DFS Devin from Football Guys. Important question for you guys. Favorite game day snack We'll go across the board for this one. Adam, what's your game day snack?
I'm going with nachos. Can't go wrong with
Okay.
nachos. You can put a lot of different things on them. Chicken, meat. You can go vegetarian option with just, cheese and some veggies on there. So I'm going to go with nachos. Classic game day snack.
Okay, Colton, where are you going on your game day snack?
Man, my wife always throws together a really good buffalo chicken dip when we're sitting down watching the game, having people over, whatever. Adam, nachos are so versatile. I love that pick, but I have to give love to my wife's buffalo chicken dip. So there we go.
There you
You're
go.
smart,
That's
man.
smart. Yeah, shout the wives out because without them, we wouldn't be here.
There we go.
For me, give me a plate of wings. I'm going to town. I love it. All the different flavors too. I'm not a one flavor guy. Give me 6 of this flavor, 6 of that. So yeah. All right, ESM in here. Good morning, all. Hope everyone had a great summer. I had a great summer, but it's finally here. Week 1, 1 point per reception in the flex. We need Kenneth Walker or Jawan Jennings. Colton, where are you going?
This one, I love Jawan Jennings. I think he's going to be a nice value, especially now that they got the contract situation worked out and the calf doesn't seem to be, he's active or he's going to play. So maybe that's behind him as well. But I think Kenneth Walker in this Clint Kubiak system, especially early in the season before the issue with Kenneth Walker has always been the nagging injuries and things like that. If he's healthy and if he's leading this backfield, there's probably going to be more of a split between him and Zach Charbonnet. But I do think with some of the receiving chops that he showed last year as well, in this system that I think is really suited to how he plays, Kenneth Walker is going to be a nice value this year if he stays healthy. And I think that starts from the jump. So I'm going Kenneth Walker here for me.
Okay. All right. I lost my spot. But I guess what, guys? I found it. Yeah. And ESM said his favorite snack is cold boiled shrimp. And Devin bringing, nobody saw that coming. So ESM, you might very well be an alien for cold boiled shrimp being your top pick. But you know what? We don't judge. We're happy to have you wherever planet you're from. All right, Bruce, he's happy for us to be back. He's got a question. He wants to know Mason, Harvey, Pearsall, or Coleman in non-PPR. Adam, where are you going with that?
If it's non-PPR, I'm kind of torn between Pearsall and Mason. I know people are excited about RJ Harvey. I want to see it with RJ Harvey a little bit. Keon Coleman, I would like him a little bit more in a PPR setting. So maybe Colton can break the tie for me. I'm stuck on Mason or Pearsall here.
That's wild because that was my exact dilemma too when I saw this one. I think the edge for me, and Adam's right, I think in non-PPR, that sort of breaks it for me a little bit. And I'm leading Jordan Mason. I think his profile is the least reliant on reception totals out of these 3 guys. Like we never really looked at Jordan Mason as the receiving threat in this backfield. So I don't necessarily know if his value is overly, I think he's more valuable in a non-PPR league because you're not going to get the ding in his value when he's facing somebody that's catching more passes, right? So I'm with Adam. It's really close for me between Mason and Pearsall, but I'm going to lean Mason in a non-PPR setting. And Joey, are we going to get to any of the mustache slander at any point where they called my mustache weak?
We'll get there. That's
Okay.
That's rude, and we'll talk to them
because I kind of I kind of agree. I'm really working on it. I'm not upset at all. I'm just like, no, it's true. We're gonna power through the awkward phase of the mustache, and we're gonna get to a stronger mustache. So
guys,
I just wanted to provide that.
Okay, guys, let's not mustache shame on this show. If we're going to shame anything, we should just shame Dave. Not even here for starts and sits. Just want to share week 1 enjoyment with my friends. I actually got to spend some time with Dave over the last couple of days. As you can see, I'm not in my normal studio. I am in a castle. I am in Vegas having a good time. But yeah, Dave was here. We did some stuff with the NFFC, did some drafts, did some Football Guys Bowl drafts. Had a really good time out here. It was good seeing Dave. He brought his lovely wife along. I had a good time. All right, but enough about that. Ooh, PS3 Inquisition. So, okay, Clubhouse leader, best name of the day so far. Happy football day. Torn on Garrett Wilson or DJ Moore. in my wide receiver 3 spot. Adam, where are you going?
If this is your wide receiver 3, I think you're pretty healthy there. I don't think we at Football Guys we definitely have Garrett Wilson rated higher. I don't think I want anything to do with the Jets offense and Jets pass catchers until I see it. So I would lean DJ Moore as a wide receiver 3, high upside, but we definitely have Wilson rated higher.
Okay. Giles, come up for air, buddy. Cortland Sutton or oh man, I'm gonna mess his name up on the first day. Or McMillan in Carolina. I'm an underdog, and I think Sutton is the floor play, but McMillan is the ceiling. I don't feel super comfortable about it, but leaning McMillan. Colton, first, yeah, just go give me the starter set. Which way are you going, buddy?
Okay, Tetaroa, I think is how we're saying it, right? Tetaroa McMillan, or just T-Mac, I think he said.
I said
He likes
Tet, and I got
T-Mac
yelled
too.
at.
But in any case, Tet seems to be the one that is like, don't call him Tet. That's the one that like you can't go with. Yeah. But I guess T-Mac or Tetaroa. But I know that because I've been talking about him a ton lately. I like him a lot. I think he's in for where he's going to upgrade from that start sit tier to like kind of a no-brainer wide receiver 2 type guy. And I think that starts somewhat early just because of how prominent his role is going to be out of the gate. I think you're right. I think Sutton is maybe the floor play here, but I think McMillan, we're going to see it relatively early where his role in this offense is pretty prominent. And he has a slightly higher floor and a slightly higher ceiling than maybe we're anticipating. So I'd lean Tetaroa McMillan here. I'd lean T-Mac here. But you're right. I think Cortland Sutton is the floor play. You got to swing for the upside, though.
I have reached the mustache portion of the questions. And let me just say, chat, you're in mid-season form.
There we go. Okay.
Don't ever change. Where's JBB's grandma? Like, where you at? Come out. Colton, you're going to get to meet somebody really great in a little bit. Dane in here. What's up, boys? Good luck this season. Happy we're all back. We're happy to be here. And then, yeah, so just saying, shave that weak mustache. Oh, that's just not nice. Andrea.
It's coming in, man. I'm committed.
You'll get there. Oh, Kevin Hudson. I got to hang out with Kevin as well here in Vegas the other day. Had a nice conversation with Kevin. Hopefully McCaffrey is just a Belichick bluff. List him on the injury report every week just to make people wonder and hope. Yeah, that's what we're kind of hoping for, Kevin. Dana in here with a question for us. So glad you guys are back. We're glad you're back, Dana. Who should she flex? Jacoby Myers, Tyrone Tracy, or Khalil Shakir? Adam, give me one of those guys.
I am going to go with Tyrone Tracy. I like him, especially in a PPR format with the running back. Khalil Shakir coming off the high ankle sprain. He was taken off the injury report this week. I do think he'll be good, but I think Tyrone Tracy is the safest play here.
All right. And then Dave letting us know CMC is active today, so that is great news. We've got about 5 minutes left here with Colton. We're going to try to rapid fire through some of these to get down the board a little bit. Landon, so Colton, DJ Moore, Jamison Williams, or Aaron Jones? Give me one. Or give me two.
Yeah. 2. Rapid fire. I'm leaning JMO, Aaron Jones.
JMO, Aaron Jones. Okay. I would be there too. Matthew, Kyle Monungai, speculative ad for you, Adam?
Yeah, I think he's an okay ad. Roshan Johnson's dealing with a foot thing that I think could linger. He hasn't really impressed in Chicago thus far in his career, so I think that RB2 job is open. So I've got Monungai stashed in a couple spots.
Okay, Colton, Brock Purdy or Justin Fields, or maybe somebody off the waiver wire quarterback this week?
Ooh, that's tough. I think I'm leaning Brock Purdy slightly. Those guys are close. I just think Brock Purdy is a much more competent passer in a much more established system. Justin Fields, we know he's going to run a ton. What is the passing going to look like? That's going to be a very low volume passing offense. So you're just going to bank on a ton of running. Give me Brock Purdy in that spot.
All right. And then Alex, glad to see you again as well. Start 2, Adam. Diggs, Egbuka, Brees Hall, Jalen Warren. It's half PPR. and he took a 0 already with Xavier Worthy. Love that context, Alex, because we now know you need to play for some upside. Where are you going, Adam?
I think he listed them in the order that I would play them. I'm big on Stephon Diggs this year. If anyone's followed my stuff for this offseason, I know he's coming off the ACL tear, but he had a great offseason. If we're believing in Drake May, then I think you have to believe in Stephon Diggs as the number one pass catcher there. And then I think we've made it pretty clear on this show that we were very pro Emeka Egbuka, so I'd be playing Emeka Egbuka as well.
Absolutely. All right. And then Colton, Charbonnet or Jennings in a PPR flex spot?
That one's Jennings for me,
Okay.
especially now that we know he's healthy, contract is resolved. I mentioned that earlier, but I like the reception upside there with Jennings, leaning Jennings there.
Excellent. We'll do one more question, then we're going to get to the start of the week. So we actually have a segment now. I'm so excited for this. Jacob,
Nice.
Adam, we're coming to you on this. Pick 2. DK Metcalf, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Ricky Pearsall, Aaron Jones, or Tyrone Tracy. Which were you?
All right. If I am picking 2, oh man, we got some good options here. I think I'm going to lean into the Ricky Pearsall thing. Joey's my number 1, but Dave might be my number 2. And Dave's been a big Ricky Pearsall guy this offseason. I want to make it clear. Joey is my number 1. Joey's number 1. But close seconds, Dave. So I'm going to go with Ricky Pearsall here as I kiss up to some of my coworkers. And then I know he's not the sexiest player. I kind of like Aaron Jones. I mean, he's just been old reliable there in Minnesota. Maybe we drop some easy screen passes for JJ McCarthy to get him warmed up a little bit. So I would go Aaron Jones and Ricky Pearsall. Final answer.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's pull that down. And guys, I want to talk about your starts of the week. We're going to give away Jeff's right off the bat. But Adam and Colton, you guys have 2 pretty interesting guys down for start of the week. Adam, I'm going to let you go first. Why do you like Xavier Legette this week?
Listen, the play for Xavier Legette has very little to do with the talent. And I know that's not the most endearing praise for a guy that I'm putting as my starter week, but it has everything to do with opportunity. Jalen Coker was added to the IR with a quad injury. The Panthers brought back Hunter Renfrow, but they were perfectly fine cutting him. So I don't think they have a huge plan for him. It's show up or shut up time for Xavier Legette. This is somebody that has got all the opportunity in the world. We know Tedero Camillan's going to lead that team in targets, but Xavier Legette in a nice matchup against Jacksonville. Last time I checked, over under was like at 46.5. That's a healthy spread there. So I'm going to go Xavier Legette, just to get the secondary targets for a Bryce Young offense.
All right. Love it. Colton, tell us about J.K. Dobbins. What are you excited for him today?
Yeah, I think this was one where the big variable is what does the split look like with J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. But I'm leaning veteran deference here, at least early, especially because Dobbins is listed number 1 on the depth chart. And I know Sean Payton listed R.J. Harvey as like 5th a couple weeks ago. He's up to 2. I know that was a little bit of like gamesmanship, whatever. I don't know what was going on there, but we can acknowledge R.J. Harvey's up to 2 now. So maybe this depth chart is a little more reflective of where they're at. I think Titans, I know the Titans were the 8th worst rushing defense in terms of expected points added per rush last season, 22 half PPR points per game to opposing running backs. It's a nice matchup. 5th highest implied team total of the week for the Broncos if you subscribe to game script and things like that, as a 7.5 point favorite. Very friendly running back game script here. He's ranked as the RB 30. That puts him firmly in the flex conversation. The Broncos want to run between the tackles. They were really good at creating space for running backs last year. Between the tackles, J.K. Dobbins was actually one of the better running backs in the NFL in terms of expected points added per rush on runs, on carries, I should say. Between the tackles, I think he was brought here to do a very specific job that he was very good at last year. And I think they're going to lean on that in a game where they have to rely on the run.
Perfect. Well, Colton, you're 1 for 1. Yeah, you had a great show. First show with us. Excited you're going to be here with us all season.
Thanks, man.
We don't normally do the, hey, tell people where they can follow you, but I think you need that. Not that you need it, but I think you deserve it because you're awesome. So everybody go follow Colton at, is it FFC Dodd?
Yes, sir. At FFC Dodd. Thanks, Joey. I appreciate that, man.
Oh, dude, we're so happy to hear you. But now we're going to kick you off and bring on Jeff because Jeff's getting really antsy down there and I'm already tired
All
of his
good.
antics. So good seeing you, buddy. Oh, whoops.
Cool, man.
There we go. There he is. Jeff, what's up, buddy?
I mean, I come rolling in knowing that I'm definitely not Adam's number one and definitely not Adam's number two.
Oh man.
So we'll have to see where we land here. But Adam, I do want to say that the Xavier Legette play, you're couching it by not saying it's not about. He's a very talented player. I mean, he's a first-round pick.
That's
he's very
fair.
explosive after the catch, and I do think that he's going to be put in position in this Carolina offense to get the ball in his hands and allow him to create. I think that there might be a similar to my guy Friday night, Quentin Johnston, going out there scoring 2 touchdowns in his debut year 3. There was a big leap for Quentin Johnston in year 2. We saw 8 touchdowns last year. I think Legette is going to follow that path there to year 2. Things will make a little bit more sense for him.
We were eating pizza, Jeff, watching the game, and we were like, Jeff Bell has to be on, like, just punching the air right now. We're so excited for you.
Well, I thank you, and I do appreciate that. But I told Dave I was just tweeting through the Xavier Worthy pain because Xavier Worthy was a flag plant on the Dynasty show with Dave that for myself, and then to see Travis Kelce just go out there and take him out, hired a gun there for. He heard Taylor was excited about Xavier Legette, and he said, "I'll take care of that real quick."
Yeah. Well, Jeff, we're excited to have you here. What's your 3rd year? Adam's 3rd year, my 3rd year. But I want you to talk to us about Hunter Henry. What do you love about him today?
Yeah, Hunter Henry, when you look at what happened when he came into the lineup when Drake May came into the lineup last year, 6 of the 10 games that Hunter Henry played with Drake May, he was over 8 targets in those games, averaging 6.16 receptions, 61 yards per game in those games. When you look at his 17-game pace in those 10 games with Drake May, is 85 receptions, 840 yards. Hunter Henry's coming off a career year. There's a lot of uncertainty about how the targets might shake out with New England. I think Hunter Henry is going to be the go-to guy in some regards for Drake May going up against a Raiders defense that allowed the 3rd most points to tight ends last year. They lost linebacker Robert Spillane, went to New England in free agency. If you play IDP, you know the name Robert Spillane. If you don't, he just gets a lot of tackles. They replaced him with Jermaine Pratt, who came from the Bengals, who allowed the most points to tight ends. And so Jeremy Chin could mess that up, the safety coming in, but I think Hunter Henry is going to be targeted very heavily. And if you're looking to start the season off with a tight end streamer, I like Hunter Henry.
Awesome. Well, I love everyone's start of the week. Joey has a start of the week, but didn't make the graphic. Kind of piggybacking off Adam. Like, I love this Carolina Panther. I know I'm wearing the Bucs shirt, and I shouldn't say it, but I love this Carolina Panthers offense. I think it's going to be explosive this year. We saw what Bryce Young did in the second half of the season, and I think he picks right back up, right where he left off last year. So I have Xavier Legette and Bryce Young in quite a few DFS lineups today. I am excited for the Panthers, but hopefully they lose every single game from an NFL standpoint, because I don't want to see they're sneaky good. They're sneaky good. So. All right, I probably should be more worried about Atlanta today. But let's get back into the questions. Darrell in here asking us, Purdy or Murray? Jeff Bell, which one of those quarterbacks do you like the most?
I'm taking Kyler here going up against the Saints. I've got Kyler ranked above Drake May this week. I have questions. I think Seattle's defense is better than maybe many might realize. And then Mike McDonald in year 2, he's going to be dialing it up here in this first game here. And I definitely want Kyler Murray in what I think could be an onslaught game against the Saints.
Zare in here saying, gentlemen, Joey, taking a shot at me. That's not very nice. Heath in here. Hi there. Hello. You only need to say hi one time. Heath, saying it twice, it's just redundant. Full PPR, need a QB, have Trevor Lawrence or Brock Purdy? Adam. T-Law?
Yeah. I mean, we just talked up that Carolina game that we're really excited about. I think I would lean into that as well. I'm going with Trevor Lawrence.
All right. Landon here calling London a must start this season. I agree. And then soy sauce, full PPR. Jeff, Downs or Thielen?
Downs for me.
Okay.
I need to see something from Thielen before I'm going there. I want to see JJ McCarthy's debut. I think it's going to be Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson heavy getting Thielen up to speed.
All right, Adam, did you pick a rookie running back, Caleb Johnson or Bill Krosky Merritt?
I think I'm going to go Bill. I mean, I know Caleb Johnson was probably drafted higher. I guess it kind of depends when you were drafting, but he seems like he's definitely the RB2, maybe even the RB3 in Pittsburgh right now. So I'm going to go with Bill and hope for a little safer floor.
All right. Jeff, what's your game day snack?
My game day snack, whatever is in front of me, I guess, is probably the answer there. In terms of go-to, I mean, I'm really open. Chicken of some sort of chicken wings or chicken tenders, some sort of chicken.
Just like chicken. That's good, man. My answer was chicken wings, so we can go party together, Jeff. We have quite a few times. Charbonnet or Hunter Henry at the flex 2. I think the answer on that one's Hunter Henry. Jeff?
I'm going with Hunter Henry here because just the uncertainty. We don't know what that role is going to look like for Zach Charbonnet.
All right. And then Colton was on the ETN side of downs earlier. Adam, are you there?
I really hate to contradict Colton. This Jaguars backfield, I've definitely drafted some shares this offseason, but I want to see how it shakes out. I want to see how the touches shake out. It might be week to week, but I am worried about Tank Bigsby more than some people might be. So I would go with the safer play with Josh Downs and see what happens in Jacksonville.
All right. And then Frosty, he likes wings. Buffalo chicken dip is good too. Yeah, it is. All right. And then Zare, bench stash, Monungai or Rashad White. Already said it running back. You're right. I'm gonna say that I think Rashad White is a flex play once he's healthy this season. I think with Tristan Wirfs being out, Baker is going to be checking down a lot. And Rashad White, we know that's what he does best when he's with the Bucs. So I have Rashad White. He's my most drafted player this year. Even with the injury, that just made his value go lower. I was happy to take Rashad White. So Rashad White's out there on your waiver wire. Go stash him. Toby in here. Better season-long end of the bench handcuff. If you don't roster the starter, Woody Marks or Keaton Mitchell. Jeff, what side are you there?
I'm going to go Keaton Mitchell just because if something happens to Derrick Henry, Keaton Mitchell, I do think has the potential to be a league winner. Woody Marks, I just haven't seen anything positive out of camp from him. I don't know if he's got a role. It's we need to remember, especially day 3, half these rookies can't play. And I think that Keaton Mitchell, we know he can play.
All right. Need help picking 2 full PPR. I'm going to guess that's Travis Hunter, Roma Dunze, and Matthew Golden. Pick 2, Adam.
I think I would go in that order. Travis Hunter, Roma Dunze, and then Matthew Golden.
Okay. I'm not going to push back on you. Let's say we find out Jaden Reed's out today. Would you bump Matthew Golden up? Or still those 2?
I mean, yeah, if Jaden Reed was out, that would change some things. I think Jaden Reed's going to be active.
Okay.
I mean, Romeo Doubs is still there, and people just seem to forget about him. He could easily be, at least to start the season, the Packers wide receiver 1. It's just a kind of crowded wide receiver room right now. So until it filters out a little bit, I know we're excited about some of these rookies, and there's certainly some that we can play. But I like to kind of take the wait and see approach with how some of them are going to be used.
Sorry for anyone who was watching that. My leg was asleep because I'm in a very tiny hotel chair. I was trying to get up. All right. We're having fun.
Can I just say something too? Because we got the question earlier. I don't know if anyone saw it. I'm going to verify that this is the real Adam Scheffner, but they're saying Chris Rodriguez is a healthy inactive today.
Okay.
So it is the real Adam Scheffner. So that definitely would solidify my Bill question when we were talking about Caleb Johnson or Bill.
Yeah, I might be sliding Bill in a little more lineups than I was going to with that news. For sure.
Where are we ranking Bill now with that news? Solid running back 2, solid like 2.5, running back 3 status. He's at running back 31 for me right now.
So he's a flex probably still for me.
Yeah, I'd put him maybe right behind J.K. Dobbins. I'm looking at our Football Guys ranks. We got J.K. Dobbins around like RB 32. I'd probably put him right behind that personally.
Okay. So yeah, like we're still starting guys like Aaron Jones, RJ Harvey over him, but excellent. All right, let's get back on task here. Igbuka or Trevion Henderson, Jeff.
I'm probably going to go with Henderson here. I feel like depends on full PPR. Give me Ibuka in full PPR against Atlanta. I think the potential's there for a shootout. I'd like to see Henderson's role manifest itself first, probably.
I've now scared Jeff. Adam, did you hear us talk about the broken toe, Jeff?
What's that?
Did you hear us talk about the broken toe? How I broke Adam's toe when he sniped me on Ibuka?
I can't have a broken toe, Joey.
Okay, well, let's just keep on task this season. You won't have to worry about it. Kevin, Joey, Dave, and Joe rocking the NFFC draft in Vegas. Great guys. Great to see. Kevin, it was an awesome hang this last weekend. So great to see him out there. Any mustache is a good one, Colton. So Colton ran off the show, cried because they made fun of his mustache, but some people love it, Colton. So we'll all stick together. So who to target, Sampson or Judkins? I need to pick one for a roster spot. So that's good. You don't want to start Judkins. He did sign a contract finally with the Browns. I woke up to that news this morning. If you're rostering one of them, who's it going to be, Jeff?
Judkins rather easily. I just don't think that Sampson is a thing right now.
Zare, I'm going to give it to Adam, but in the future, we're answering the medical questions on Adam's show after Sunday Morning Live. So he's beginning to develop a slight groin pain. Should he start strengthening his core?
That's never a bad option. I think everyone can strengthen their core, but no one has a stronger core than Joey Wright.
That's not true. I had a hard time getting off the toilet this morning. All right. No, sorry, Joe. Ford or Cup in the flex PPR, Jeff?
Give me Ford against that Bengals matchup. Let's get it. We got toilet humor going on here. Is this what we're doing?
It's week one.
Ford going against week one.
It's already happening.
Ford against the Bengals here.
There we go. James has a question for us. Dante Thornton or Loveland in the flex, Adam?
Oh man, are we doing the? I guess we're doing the Dante Thornton thing. I don't know. This would be a better question for Jeff. Maybe I hate to put him on the spot, but he's tracked some of the things that I kind of like Dante Thornton, to be honest, in that wide receiver 2 role.
Jeff?
This is probably an upside versus safety play for me. And I think the play on Dante Thornton is he just breaks a big play. And so if you really need massive upside, maybe Thornton. I like Loveland, though, probably here. I think I've heard enough to know that I feel pretty comfortable he's going to be integrated immediately into this Bears offense. And so I think that there's a little bit more of a safer floor with the Loveland play.
Joey, can I just hop in real quick?
Yes, please.
Got breaking news. He was questionable. Darnell Mooney is officially out for Sunday here.
So Ray McLeod, is he a start for you guys now?
Ray McLeod is there. The name in deep leagues, Casey Washington. Casey Washington is the name here that I think you could see Casey Washington being the second receiver in 2 wide receiver sets opposite Drake London. Washington has filled into Mooney's role all throughout camp. He was on the practice squad with Michael Penix last year, became Penix's number 1 receiver on the practice squad, although they were both rookies last year. And so there's a rapport there. He's filled in for Mooney through the entirety of camp. Mooney was injured the very first day of preseason camp, missed the entire time. Casey Washington has been an everyday starter there. He has flashed. He made plays against the Titans in an inter-squad scrimmage. They've held everybody out of the preseason games. That includes Penix and that includes Casey Washington, but he was making big plays down the field from Penix. And I do think that this Atlanta offense is going to want to push a lot more vertically than they have in the past. I mean, Drake London's going to get like a 40% target share. So Drake London is going to be the obvious play here. I think there might be higher upside maybe with Casey Washington than Ray McLeod. I think you really got to be desperate though. But I mean, if you're out there in the super deep leagues that you've got a open bench spot at the end of your roster, Casey Washington should be rostered right now.
That's great advice that you can only get here on Football Guys Sunday Morning Live. I'm going to be honest. When you paused on Ray McLeod, I thought I had the wrong team. I was like, oh my God, Joey, come on. It's week 1. But no, Joey, he pulled that out of his butt. So, all right. Brenton Strange or Calvin Ridley in the flex this week? Adam, give us one.
Calvin Ridley by a long shot.
All right. Jameson Williams, Roma Dunze, or Michael Pittman. Need one for PPR. That's Jameson Williams, right, guys?
Comfortably.
Yeah. When in doubt, week 1, play the RB over the wide receiver in question. That's some good sage advice.
And target the Bengals defense.
Yes, that's always good too. All right, and Dana's thanking us. We thank you for being here, Dana. And Giles Lamont. That's a great name, Giles Lamont. Everybody's just thankful we're here. All right. Kevin letting us know Fields got to run a ton. All right, Demetrios in here. Rate my team. We'll rate a team for you. It's got Prescott, Goff, Achane, Chase Brown, Ramondre Stevenson, Trey Benson, Lamb, Hill, Flowers, Pickens. You just came to brag. Diggs, tight end Njoku, Ingram. I think you got a really solid team with a lot of bench. It's a 10-team league, so you guys like this team?
Yeah, I do. That's a good team.
Guys, I have some great news. Good morning, my sweeties.
Oh, boy.
Oh, he's back. Went out for tie with the girls last night, and this morning I'm faced with some truly devastating decisions. We say his name or say their name and they shall appear. Glad to have you back. Let's keep it clean, but not too clean. We like you being here with us. JB's grandmama. All right. So great to see you guys. Yeah, we're so happy to be back. And sorry, DK, Ridley, Diggs, or Jeff.
I'm going Ridley and Adunze here. DK. I missed that one. DK as that. I'm going to play him, and give me Adunze.
Gotcha. This is what little French boy. Hello, my papas. Always funny. Little French boy joining us. And would you play Sutton over DK, Jeff?
Yeah, I would. Given the matchup, Sauce Gardner for DK, and we want to see the Arthur Smith of it all. See what this offense looks like. Versus, I think Sutton's going to be fed pretty heavily against a Titans defense that should be susceptible.
Oh, Nick, I hope that baby's grown since last season. Jalen Warren, J.K. Dobbins, or Breece Hall. Adam, where are you going?
Oh, boy. Pick two. I can pick two. So I would pick J.K. Dobbins and Breece Hall in that situation.
These little windows, I keep drifting. It's terrible. All right. Half PPR. That's going to be 10. I'm not supposed to say 10. It's me, McMillan. And then Tracy or Ramondre, Jeff. Pick one running back. Half PPR.
Tracy.
Okay. Devin Knotts is excited for snacks. And Devin put a picture of a dog in his chat, and that's you will get your question up if you put a picture of a dog. All right, Njoku or Adunze? Kenneth Lee asks us, Adam.
I'd go with Dunze.
All right, Mauricio, hola amigos, our good friend Mauricio Gutierrez and writer at Football Guys, doing some content for us in English and in Espanol. So excited to see him here. He's got a question for us, though. Kenneth Walker or Chigo Okonkwo in SFB 15 scoring. Jeff, where are you going?
I'm still playing Walker. As long as I know that we're clear on Walker, I think I'm still going to go there.
All right. So we know Jameson Williams over Jalen Warren, but what about Jalen Waddle? Lots of J's in there. So I'm going to throw this to Adam because he doesn't have a J name, so he won't be biased to whoever he chooses. Will be Waddle or Williams? Where are we going?
Are we picking two or just
pick two? Yeah. Sorry about
pick
that.
two? No, you're good. I would pick Jalen Waddle and Jameson Williams.
A lot of JWs in that. That's why because I'm a JW, so I can't answer that question. Look at that. See, that's all. It's all narrative. It's all written, Jeff. Jameson Williams or Jawan Jennings. This can be Jameson Williams.
J-Mo
for sure. Hey, Mike's in here. Go Bills. Yeah. Well, one of us agrees with that. I don't know. I'll cheer for the Bills when they against the Ravens.
America's team, America's true team, the Buffalo Bills.
Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Okay. And Adam's in here just goofing off, thanking Andrea twice. Can't do it once. Got to do it twice.
Hey, I deserve two.
I don't know if this is dirty or not, but I want to put it up. World's biggest Cloyce box fan in the house.
That's right.
It sounds
Do you understand?
It's a running joke because in one of our Dynasty listener leagues, I had a poll last year when I do my my stat polls, and it was a game that I think it was Taysom Hill had the game. But one of those weird games where only like 4 players in NFL history had done this. And Claes Box was one. He used to be like the 6'4" wide receiver in like the 1950s when they didn't have 6'4" people walking the earth, and he just used to these people. And so in this Dynasty Listener League, one of the listeners is convinced that Claes Box is a completely made up person, and so it's a running joke that I've made up a person that one of the players that accomplished something last year did. So.
Was there a time where there was not 6'4" people walking this earth? Like
Only
that's
Claes Box,
Jeff.
like in the 19.
I tuned out everything you said except that. Once I heard that, I was like, oh goodness. I love this question. Even though there's cats, we're gonna answer it. Eckler versus the Giants or Keon Coleman versus the Ravens. Adam, where are you at on that?
Oh,
I gave you kind of the hardest question I think we've had this morning.
yeah. I mean, unless Jeff has a lot of insightful stuff for Keon Coleman, I think I would lean Austin Eckler now that backfield's kind of settled out a little bit with Chris Rodriguez officially out. But I can be persuaded by my number 3, Jeff, if we need to play Keon Coleman over Austin Eckler.
We need to find you a new number 3 because I'll be number 4 for whom J Bell tolls. But no, I think Eckler is the move there.
All right. Little French Boy actually does have a question. Do they start Penix or Bryce Young in the Superflex and then Adu, which the Adu is chef kiss. Jeff, Penix or Young?
I'm going to play Bryce Young here. I want to see. Yeah, I want to see it with Penix. So.
Yeah, I like the matchup for Penix today against the Swiss cheese defense that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, except for Winfield, who's actually good. Other than that, there's no one else good there. But yeah, I think that Jaguars Carolina game, like that's kind of the game I want to watch today because I feel like it's going to be a ton of fun. All right. JR Wiggle, like the name. I hope that's a worm. Igbuka or Flowers, Adam? It is a worm.
I am going with Emeka Egbuka again.
James in here throwing
Adam's
comments.
Never not taking Emeka Egbuka after he broke his toe.
I think it's kind of locked into it at this point.
Yeah, you got to lean all the way in.
You got to, what do they call it? Joey fracture? Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually not that funny. All right, most underrated and greatest Sunday morning show. Love you guys, and thanks as always. James, thanks for being here. Oh my goodness, thank you for being here. Rank the facial hair on screen. All right, we're going to do this.
Show up as overrated, underrated. I just want to be rated.
Yeah, this is true. All right, so rate the facial hair on screen. I'm going to do it. I'm going to say, oh man, I don't know.
Mine's messy. I'm number 3 for sure.
I don't know, but it's just like, I kind of like it. I'll go Jeff, Adam, Joey. And Joey's is a little, I don't know. Why can't he grow the hair here? We don't know why. He's tried everything. He's probably chia seeds. Nothing works. All right. John Merchant. Should I pick up Sampson over Trey Benson? Adam, do you like Sampson or Trey Benson as a stash?
I like Trey Benson. I think the Dylan Sampson thing is about to be played out with Judkins projected to play next week.
All right. And then Jeff, Caleb Johnson, RJ Harvey, or Quinshon Judkins. So Quinshon Judkins I don't believe he's starting this week or playing at all.
He's not playing this week. No.
Yeah.
And it's easily RJ Harvey.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams is full caution for me this week. There have been enough reports that he's the number 3 back there. I think that I'd go with a lot of different options over Caleb Johnson right now, but RJ Harvey easily.
And Kevin let us know that we're giving him too much information. Well, I don't think we're giving you enough information. We need to get some more of these starts and sit questions. Henry, Kupp, Tillman, or Ingram? Adam.
Golly. Evan Ingram, safer floor. I typically try to not play a tight end in that flex spot, but I think with those other options, I'd maybe go Ingram.
All right. Henry,
Evan Ingram.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Evan Ingram needs 4 receptions to hit 500 career receptions. There have been 19 tight ends in NFL history to hit 500 career receptions. He has the second most receptions against the Titans of any team in the NFL. He's had the most against the Cowboys. So you want to leave into the fun narrative there. Bo Nix at least getting his joker up to 4 receptions to get that number, with maybe even potentially more.
Jeff,
that's exactly why I picked him. That's exactly why I picked him.
Jeff, you're one of my favorite analysts, period, because you just pull these nuggets out of the because I love narratives and just like you just pull them out for me. Henry, I want to give you a tip outside of fantasy. If you hold the fish closer when someone takes a picture, the fish looks a lot bigger. So use that tip and however you're going to use it in life. Love or Young? So first Jordan Love question. Adam, go ahead.
I think I would go Bryce Young. We talked a lot about this Jaguars-Panthers game. I like that matchup.
All right. And then JJ McCarthy or Brock Purdy, Jeff?
Purdy over JJ McCarthy. Bears had a solid defense last year, so I want to see that first.
Right. One of the reasons you should be here in the chat on Sunday Morning Live is so that you can read the questions that we don't put up because they're pretty funny. And JB's grabbing them off for the first time this season. I'm not going to put that up. Trey Vice, Tyler Lockett or Tonta Thornton, 14-man league starting over Ridley. So no Bears allowed in this league, only Mans. Jeff, where are you going there?
Do not start Tyler Lockett or Dante Thornton over Calvin Ridley. I understand all the reasons for caution on Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley could still get 12 targets against Patrick Surtain. I think we're getting way over our skis here on sitting Calvin Ridley.
Perfect. And then we did say JMO over Travis Hunter earlier. And then Bill over Charbonnet. Daniel, I'm going to put the question in there one time. We will absolutely get to it. And if we can't, hop over to the Discord. Mike Kashuba is going to be over there today answering all the start-sit questions because we do end today at 9 a.m. Pacific time, which I'm usually talking Eastern, so that's noon. So we'll be here with you every week from 11 till noon this season. I'll get a couple more questions in before we head out. Dallas or Goddard for week 2 PPR? We lost our slides.
They played on Thursday night, so...
Yeah.
It sounds like this is for week 2.
Week 2.
Oh, week 2. Okay. Start Dallas or Goddard.
I think this question is confusing. And we talked about week 2 and week 2. So,
hey, Jeff Bolt's in here. Welcome in. The highlight of his summer was me at the Expo. He must have had a bad summer. Just kidding. It was great meeting you too, Jeff. Look for Jeff, but never cross paths.
Jeff's
a phantom. Yeah, he's a ghost. It's 100% true. I'm sad because every time I go to hug him, my arms just go right through him. It's very sad every time it happens. Why do people watch this show? I don't know. All right, Waddle, Ibuka, Downs, or Pearsall. Pick 2. It's gonna be Waddle and Ibuka. Joey's cat respect will not be tolerated. We duel it. Okay, well,
I'm taking Pearsall over Waddle.
Really?
Yeah,
Jeff, I love that. Okay,
yeah.
Adam, break the tie. Pearsall.
I would go Waddle. I'm never crossing Joey again. Never.
That's Adam's narrative analysis. He doesn't want another broken toe. He's only got one left. So, all right. And then Cedric Tillman or Khalil Shakir. Jeff.
Shakir.
Okay.
Easily.
I'm gonna get through as many of these as I can. Let's rapid fire them for the next couple of minutes. Taj Brooks or Keaton Mitchell. Adam.
Keaton Mitchell.
So is it going against Jeff? So I'm going to go to Adam with this. Jennings, Cup, or Dobbs?
I would go Juwan Jennings.
Okay. Jerome Ford or Jalen Warren, and a 0.5 point per carry and a full point per reception, Jeff?
Warren.
Okay. Olave or Pearsall? It's going to be Pearsall, Jeff?
For me, yeah, it's Pearsall.
Okay.
Zamir White is the backup. We got it. We had it on Dan Hendry covers the Raiders camp. We had it on our show with our training camp show with Dan and Dave. Zamir White has been the backup for like 3 weeks. So Zamir White out there, if you're out there and Zamir White's available in a deeper league, go get Zamir White.
Absolutely. All right. Savage Elbow 44. Love the name. Mason or Tyler Warren, Adam?
I think I'm going to go with Jordan Mason. I expect him to work in a little bit there in Minnesota.
All right. And guys, that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be here every week. Remember, if you're watching us on the Football Guys, the Fantasy Football channel, jump over to Football Guys Live, like and subscribe over there. Make sure you get all the notifications so you can join us every single week. Guys, I had a blast. Great seeing you again. Any parting words? Adam, we'll go to you first.
No, it's good to be back. Enjoy week 1. Hope everyone's fantasy football team stays healthy. But if it doesn't, I'll be talking about it Monday at footballguys.com. Make sure you subscribe.
Beautiful. Jeff, I would like you to say whatever you want to say and then just hit us with the words, because that's now going to be the outro of the show.
Oh, so I have to say something before the words.
If you want, you don't have to.
No, it's week 1. And I think that oftentimes we have severe reactions to week 1. Maybe a little bit of caution. I flash back to a couple years ago when Jamal Williams had like 15 carries for the Saints in week 1. And then they said, well, Jamal Williams can't play. So they didn't play him the rest of the year. So I think that running backs, especially, there's going to be a lot of reveals today from the running backs. But if a guy doesn't handle his role, move off pretty quickly, because I think the teams will as well. We get to coaches all the time. They say they don't know what they have in running backs till the bullets are live. So, and then as always, clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Go out there, win one today, make everybody proud.
Everybody, thank you for being here with us this morning, and we'll see you next week.